Hey there, we are live from Midtown Comics Times Square. I am Henry. It is Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day. We've got a wonderful week in the world of comics. A lot of great stuff. You can obviously see everybody's already excited, already flooding the store. It's a very cool week, and there's a lot of great books that are coming out. So we're going to actually take a walk, and we're going to go through the entire length of this wall. We're going to talk all about these great books, but we're going to get started right up here with some of the staff picks. So first off, we've got Charles picking the Swamp Thing Winter Special, an 80-page giant issue. Very cool, some fantastic stuff, and we're going to be talking a lot about that book in a minute. We've also got Becca recommending Hawkeye. Now, that makes me happy because Hawkeye is just awesome, an amazing series. Then Jade went for Young Monsters in Love, another giant issue from DC, a $10 special. Very cool. And then we've got Heavenly Blues from Tom. Always got some cool picks. And then we've got Green Arrow from Jay, who is a Green Arrow fanatic. Now we're going to walk along and we're going to grab some of the books that seem the most exciting. So right off the bat, I know that I am grabbing the new issue of Batman because I am loving the current storyline by Tom King and Joelle Jones on art. We've also got some really great issues of Batman White Knight, so I'll go ahead and I will grab one of those. Then we're going to continue down. We see lots of cool stuff. We see the Jim Lee variant for Metal. Very cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to grab Harley Quinn because Mirka Andolfo is on art for the series now. Some great stuff as we continue down. You'll see fantastic issues of Black Lightning, Cold Dead Hands, of Bombshells United. Some really cool books. And I, just like Jay, am going to go ahead and I'm going to grab Green Arrow. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Juan Ferreira cover because I love Juan Ferreira's art. We've got some cool collections as well, some really nice, enthralling additions. Very cool. Gotta look at that. That is an awesome looking addition. And we've got Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab Aquaman by Peter David because that's classic hook hand Aquaman stuff. Gotta love that. We've got some cool stuff like Challengers of the Unknown by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. An amazing team. Great. We'll also grab the new issue of Justice League. I'm going to grab the variant cover myself. Very nice cover. Then we've got a bunch of cool things such as these Mr. Miracle reprints that are really exciting. Mr. Miracle has gone through 1,000 printings because it's gone through 1,000 copies. It's been so popular. And just to follow up, because I had to pick it up last week, I'm going to get Mother Panic Batman. And then let's go ahead and we'll grab Superman as well. Very interesting new story from James Robinson filling in right now. Then we're going to go ahead and grab a double dose of these DC giant issues of Swamp Thing and Young Monsters in Love. And how cool is it? Just let's look at that. How cool is it to see Swamp Thing on 2 different books in 1 week? That's awesome. That makes me really happy. So I have to go ahead and I'm going to grab both. We've got a bunch of cool indie picks from IDW. They've got some great stuff like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Answer the Call, and Scarlet Strike Force. Very cool new miniseries spinning out of G.I. Joe. And we've also got some cool collected editions up here. We've got some great stuff. We've got Scooby Apocalypse, which makes me happy. Teen Titans by Jeff Johns. That's some really good stuff. That's got the Titans of Tomorrow in it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab one of these big hardcover editions of Black Comics Returns, a brand new anthology from Lion Forge. Very exciting stuff there. And as we continue down, you'll see that there's a lot of cool collected editions. We've got stuff like Clue. We've got stuff like Weird Love. We've got Scales and Scoundrels, which is really fun. And then once we get over here, we see some really cool indie picks that I'm going to go for. So we've got a lot of books in my hands. We've got Snot Girl. And of course, I got to pick up the new series Versus. Grab that. And we've got Wicked and Divine putting out a special edition this week. So I'm going to pick up both covers because I buy both covers of every issue of Wicked and Divine. Now we hit Marvel. We're going to go ahead and we're going to grab Avengers. And then we're going to continue down. We've got some great stuff. We've got that issue of Hawkeye. Very cool. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to grab Infinity Countdown. And then as we continue down, we've got some cool stuff. We've got the brand new issue of Runaways. We've got the new issue of She-Hulk. And something that I cannot miss out on myself, the brand new issue of Venom, which has Javier Garrón jumping in on art. And we also have the launch of X-Men Gold. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab the main cover, but I think all the covers are great. I actually grabbed a blank cover as well. First off, we have the Aquaman trade paperback edition by Peter David. Now, this is really cool. So this is great because it's a classic 90s run on the character. Peter David is one of the most prolific writers to really make an impact on the character of Aquaman. You'll see here he's got his famous hook hand, who if you're a child of the 90s like I am, you'll of course recognize from all the Justice League cartoons and Justice League Unlimited, and the hook hand was like the coolest thing on the planet. So this is of course where that story takes place, and we'll just flip it open to a page and check it out. We've got some prime 90s DC right here, which is great because you'll see Aquaman facing off against Superboy, and that's the kind of stuff that makes me really happy as a fan, because I'm a big fan of Aquaman and a big fan of Superboy, but I really am a big fan of Peter David. I love his X Factor, I love his Hulk, I love all the different things he's done. You got to go back, you got to check out his Aquaman run. Now, as we continue, we've got Mother Panic and Batman special. Now, this is part 2 of Milk Wars, and if you read part 1 of Milk Wars, you know that this book is really weird. And there's like weird, but then there's really weird, and this book is definitely in the really weird classification. Here we get to see a priest version of Batman in this version of the world that's kind of been cleaned up, you know, made really safe, really nice. It's like a Norman Rockwell version of the DC universe, and it's really great, and the first issue was so enthralling, I have to continue the story. Now we have the brand new issue of Justice League by Christopher Priest, and we've had some really great stuff here. I love this J.G. Jones variant, which we already sold out of online, so the only place you're going to find it is in the store. But it's really fun, it's really great, and I also just really like that Christopher Priest is taking a character-centric approach to the Justice League. Now, as we move on, we've also got the big action-heavy brand new issue of Batman, issue number 40. Now, if you guys read last issue, Batman and Wonder Woman found themselves in an interesting predicament, to say the least, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And also, as somebody who's been really enjoying the romantic developments in Batman's life, this is definitely throwing a wrench in the works, and I'm really curious to see how things played out. I couldn't help it, I did flip through, so I know the answers, but you guys have to find out. Pick up the book, it really is exciting. Now, for a bit of an alternate version of Batman, you know, we've got Batman White Knight by Sean Gordon Murphy, who's doing the writing, who's doing the art, who's doing an amazing job telling a very cool take on the Joker. And I am not a Joker fan, so the fact that I'm actually enjoying and like captivated by a Batman story that centers around the Joker really bewilders me. I really never expected that would be real, and this book is really that good. We've also got the brand new issue of Harley Quinn. It's Angry Bird Part 1, which I think is a very funny name for the storyline, but of course that's referring to the Penguin, as we see Harley Quinn and the Penguin are crossing paths. This book has been really fun for years, but now Frank Thierry is giving it a kind of a fresh voice, jumping on a couple issues ago, and we get Mirko Andolfo on the art here, and I really dig it. A perfect fit for the series, and really fun to see just some of the interesting situations that the Penguin finds himself in as a result of popping up in Harley Quinn, because you know things are always kind of crazy in the world of Harley Quinn. So definitely worth checking out. Now, this book is very special, and I highly recommend it. This is the Swamp Thing Winter Special. It's an 80-page giant, and if you look at the names here, you'll actually see it's Len Wein. And Len Wein is, of course, the creator of Swamp Thing, and it's his final work on the character. It was a series that he was working on before his untimely passing, so it is a great way to kind of enjoy the legacy of, you know, Len Wein, of Swamp Thing, of his master creation. And, of course, we also get to see Tom King and Jason Fabok on art here, and just to show you a sample of what the art in this book is like, it really is gorgeous. We've got some great stuff in this book, and if you're a Swamp Thing fan, or even if you're not, even if you're just, you know, looking for something new to try out, you got to pick this up because it's only $8. It's 80 pages. That's an incredible deal, and it's got the work of Tom King, Len Wein, Kelly Jones doing some of the art, Jason Fabok, and those are amazing, masterful creators, and it's a masterful book that is definitely worth your time. Then if you want something that's a little bit different, but a lot of fun, we've got the Young Monsters in Love special. Now, this is great. So I loved the Frankenstein Agent of Shade book that happened a few years ago. So here you'll see, of course, Frankenstein's monster, to be specific. But we've got Frankenstein, and we've got the Bride of Frankenstein, and we've got Swamp Thing coming in on his girl. What's going on with that? You know, this book is really fun, though. It's got a bunch of short little stories about various characters, and I think it's refreshing to see that DC is putting out these specials that really focus on these characters in a new light. Then I grabbed both covers, we've got Wicked and Divine, and Wicked and Divine is one of my favorite books that's been coming out these last couple years, but this issue is cool. So this is focusing on the Pantheon of 1923, but what I really want to show you guys is you got to check out this incredible art. Oh, what's that? It's prose. That's right. They actually decided to change things up a little bit this issue. So it is still a comic book. Don't worry. There are still comic book pages, but we actually get to see a bit of a prose comic book hybrid, which I think is really fantastic and highlighting what makes the 1923 Pantheon of the Gods very different. And of course, Kieron Gillen's been doing an amazing job on the series from day one. And while we wait for the return of the series with the proper issues, this is a really great special to hold us over and to give us an idea of what their past lives were like. I highly recommend it, and you got to pick it up. If you're a diehard fan of the series, pick up both covers just like me. Then we've got the brand new issue of Superman. This is issue number 40. This is an issue with James Robinson, but we've also got the art of Doug Mahnke. And I love his art, and what I really like about this is it explores Superman in kind of a new situation because he's always flying around, he's always saving planets, and this is a planet that doesn't want to be saved. So what do you do when somebody has willingly decided that they want to sacrifice their life, and what do you do when it's a whole planet? Suicide planet. Very cool. Then we've also got the brand new issue of Snot Girl. Snot Girl's got a bit of a rocky shipping schedule. I know that a lot of the fans are excited to see it back on the shelves this week. Of course, it's Brian Lee O'Malley and it's Leslie Hyun on art, and some really fun stuff, really exciting. If you're a fan of Snot Girl, you know you're picking it up, and it's from Brian Lee O'Malley, who's worked on so many amazing books, Seconds, Lost on Sea, and of course, Scott Pilgrim. So you got to check out his monthly series. Loosely monthly. Then we've got Infinity Countdown, Adam Warlock. Now this is very cool. We've actually got some really great art here from Michael Allred, who I'm always going to pique my interest when Michael Allred is on art for an issue. And we get to see the build up to the new Infinity Countdown series that is on the horizon, and we can see where Adam Warlock fits into things. Of course, Adam Warlock and Kang the Conqueror on these opening pages. I'm a big Kang fan. I really love seeing him a lot these last couple years with Mark Waid Avengers, and I'm really excited to see where this story builds to, because of course it's a big time in the Marvel Universe. Infinity on the horizon. What are the comics gonna do? Now, speaking of tying in with some of this kind of crazy stuff, we've got the new issue of Avengers No Surrender, issue 679, and you'll see right here on the cover that the Human Torch does not look like he's having a good day. After the events of last issue, things are getting a little crazy for Johnny Storm, and things are getting crazy for the Avengers in general. But what I actually really like is that this issue with Kim Jacinto is now on art for the next couple issues. We actually get to focus on some of the villains that are at play. They've been very mysterious, they've been lurking in the background, and now we get to see them at the forefront of the story, and we can see how they impact the events of what's going on with the Avengers. We can see where Grandmaster fits into things. We get to see how the Lethal Legion and the Black Order came to be involved. You got to pick it up. We've also got Versus, which is a brand new Image Comics title that came out this week. It's got the writing of Ivan Brandon, and what really drew me in immediately is the art of Asad Ribic. If you've never read anything that Asad Ribic has done, you're doing something wrong. He really is amazing. He's one of the best artists in comics. Of course, having done Secret Wars a few months back, he did the Marvel Legacy one-shot, and he really is a phenomenal talent. So getting to see him explore a sci-fi world is just everything I could possibly want. You know, I love when an artist is giving an open canvas to explore with, and this is definitely a great book, so you got to check out Versus #1. Then we've got a couple more books here. We've got the brand new issue of Green Arrow as Ben Percy draws to a close. His run will be ending very soon. We have a lot of plot threads that are coming together in the fall of Red Arrow. Of course, last issue ended on a really somber note, and so now I'm very curious to see how this plays out in Green Arrow, what this means for Oliver, and what this means for Emiko, who has grown to become one of the most important characters in the Green Arrow mythos. So you got to pick it up if you're a fan of the series. And Juan Ferreira's art, let me see if I could show you some pages without spoiling anything too much. Yeah, we'll look at some of these pages here. Some great action sequences. You can, of course, see Shadow who has been a constant thorn in the side of Green Arrow, playing a major part in the story, and this has been one of my favorite books of the last couple years. I'm really excited to see how it plays out. Then a great issue that is a one-and-done story that is worth picking up is the brand new issue of Venom, issue number 161. Mike Costa, and we get to see Javier Garrón on art here. And if you guys were reading the crossover Amazing Spider-Man Venom Inc. event, that's now all tidied up, but we get to see that things haven't quite figured themselves out for Venom, not entirely at least. And getting a fun little adventure with Spider-Woman is definitely something that I'm excited for, because I'm a big Spider-Woman fan. I really like seeing her in the pages of the other Spider-Man books, and it's definitely a great follow-up to her series and something that fans, I think, will really enjoy. And Javier Garrón is an amazing artist, just announced as one of the young gun talents at Marvel, and seeing him on Venom is really masterful. And then to close us off, we've got X-Men Red. X-Men Red is, of course, the brand new X-Men series from Tom Taylor and Mahmoud Asrar, and we get to focus on Jean Grey. And I can't show you all the pages because it'll ruin it, but I will show you this stunning splash page that we get early on showcasing Jean in her new costume. This has been a really fun read because it is the launch of a new series, and the villain that they are facing off against is somebody who I think longtime X-Men fans will really be happy to see re-emerging. A major threat, mind you, like a major threat that I'm actually really curious to see how the X-Men are able to fend this foe off. And I'm really excited. Mahmoud Asrar does a great job on the art, and you really would be wise to pick it up. And then another book that is not a regular monthly book, so maybe it's a bit more, but it is a nice hardcover called Black Comics Returns. Now, this is really great. It's from Lion Forge. It's an anthology that features a number of different prominent black creators working on independent series, and it is really fantastic. It is a great way to celebrate Black History Month this month, and it's also just a really well put together book. You can see we've got a whole bunch of them around us. It's really nice, it's really pretty, and it's $29.99 for a really great book, and you guys should definitely check it out and try out something new. So that's our week, and it's a wonderful week. There's a lot of really great stuff, really wonderful time to be a comic book fan, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Like this video, be sure to let us know in the comments below. We have a lot of exciting content that we want to bring you guys, but we want to know what you guys want to see from us. So please let us know. Tell us any ideas you have for us to see and talk about. Really fantastic hearing from you guys, and we love getting the feedback. So hopefully we'll see you guys soon.